Hey, what's going on? Aaron here. Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be checking out Anton Crowley's Dropship Lifestyle. Okay, now this is a dropshipping business building program. Let's take a look at the program. I'm going to review the whole course, the price points, the modules, what you're really going to learn, the actual strategy, which is very cool, and whether this is a good use of your time should you be building a dropshipping business. Okay, now at any time, if you want to get my favorite way to get to $5,000 to $10,000 a month 100% from home, all you need to do is just click the link below. I'll send you my favorite strategy straight to your email if you want to check that out. All right, now I've reviewed hundreds of different courses online, all sorts of different business models like affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, YouTube automation, all sorts of different make money online websites, right? And some of them are great and you can make a lot of money, but some of them are big wastes of time and you really can't make that much, and some of them are extremely difficult. So let's take a look at Dropship Lifestyle by Anton Crowley to find out what this is all about. Okay, now first of all, I want to say that Anton Crowley has a very good reputation. He is a very successful drop shipper. Started in 2007, very successful, has won multiple awards, things like that, and this is basically his course that will teach you how to do that. Okay, now here's the thing about dropshipping. Let me explain to you what dropshipping is so that you can understand the business model, and then I'll tell you why this is slightly different. Okay, so dropshipping is all about basically creating what's called a Shopify store. Shopify is a software that allows you to house all your products, and you would be basically selling physical products, physical items. Okay, so you might be selling, for lack of a better example, like a calculator, or maybe a pen, or maybe a kitty lamp, or maybe a microphone and things like that. And you would find a supplier generally from a cheap e-commerce website like AliExpress, all right? And then you would advertise. You would pay for ads on Google shopping ads, YouTube ads, Google search ads, Facebook ads, things like that, right? You would drive people to that particular product. And then they would buy it, and then what you would do is you would then take that information, buy it from AliExpress. In general, there are other suppliers as well. And then you would give them your customers' mailing information, and then they would mail it straight to your customer. So what you're doing is you're buying it for cheaper on a cheaper website like AliExpress, but you're charging your customers more on the front end, and then you make the difference, and that's your profit, minus all your cost of running the business, of course, right? So that's a typical drop shipping type of business, all right? Now the difference with what Anton is doing, okay, is he's doing it slightly different. So with the traditional drop shipping model, you are generally selling very cheap products. You're selling products that cost like, $30, $50, $80, maybe $100, right? And so you have to sell a lot of product in order to make profit. That's the big problem with dropshipping. And I know that because I used to own a dropshipping business. I closed it down because of all of these little problems. The profit margins are extremely small in traditional dropshipping. It's about 10 to 15%, maybe 20%. It's very low, all right? And you have to sell hundreds and hundreds of products every single day if you want to make big profit over a month period, $10,000, $20,000 profit. Yeah, and we're not talking about revenue. The big problem with a lot of dropshipping courses and businesses is they show you their revenue numbers, but that's not real profit. All right, revenue numbers are very high, but their profit is tiny, okay? And so you have to spend a lot of money on advertising, you have to do all the customer services. It's a lot of work, okay? Now, that's why I don't like dropshipping. But this particular strategy is different, right? So what Anton does is he teaches you how to basically build a dropshipping business, exactly what I spoke about, but instead of focusing on low-ticket items, cheap items, he focuses on high-ticket items. So he teaches you how to sell products that are worth thousands of dollars. All right, so that's a big difference. Okay, so he teaches you how to sell less product, and the products are a lot more expensive. So for example, like maybe a gold statue in your house, like a piece of furniture, right? For lack of a better example, like a gold statue, you would buy it from a US distributor for maybe $300 or $400, but you would sell it online to your customers for $2,000. Does that make sense, right? So he's teaching you how to do dropshipping exactly how I mentioned earlier, but instead of focusing on cheap products, you're selling expensive stuff. You're selling premium stuff. So that means that your profit margins are slightly bigger. You don't have to sell as many products in order to get into profit. And I think it's a better strategy, to be honest, right? Because doing dropshipping the old-fashioned way sucks. It's a really crappy business model, honestly, because you have to sell so much product. It's a volume game, right? But with the way he teaches it, it doesn't become a volume game anymore. It becomes a just get your customers who are looking for something specific, something premium, like a chandelier, like a golden statue, like, something that is of high value, right? Physical item. You source them from American distributors, and then you do the same kind of thing. People find them through your ads, they pay for it for a premium, and then you go to your distributor, you give them the address, and they mail it straight to your customer for the price that you pay, which is less, and then you pocket the difference. Okay, so I think it's a pretty cool model. Now let's talk a little bit about the actual course itself. So it's first of all, this course has 9 modules. It's 26 hours in total. All right, so it's not a small course. It's a decent course. I mean, any good course will be roughly around that time. Okay, and in the 9 modules, he's going to teach you everything about niche selection, which is important. How do you build out your Shopify store, which is the piece of software that will run your entire website, basically. Where do you place all your products, all that kind of stuff. How do you find your suppliers in the US? How do you convert? Where do you drive your traffic from? So he does a lot of Google ads, right? And some other strategies as well. And then how do you outsource some of the tasks? Because the problem with dropshipping is it can be a little bit of a manual business, right? The thing about dropshipping that I actually didn't like was that every time somebody buys, you have to do everything manually. You have to go to your supplier and say, okay, this customer just bought this item. Here are the details, and I'm gonna buy it from you now. So you collect the money, then you buy it from your supplier, and then you get the supplier to send it to them. All the customer service also needs to be handled by you. So if you don't have the money to hire someone, initially you're gonna have to handle all the customer service because it's your company that you're selling the product from. As far as the customer knows, they're buying from you, right? From company XYZ. So you have to handle all the customer service. Now, if you don't have someone handling that for you, you have to handle it, which means that initially you're gonna have to spend many hours doing that. Unfortunately, that's just the name of the game with dropshipping. I didn't like that necessarily, but if you have the budget to hire someone or you don't mind working extra hours initially at the start of your business, then you can do that. Okay. Now the cost of the program is $1,997 for the premium level. That's the base level. You get everything I mentioned, the 9 modules. You get live training calls with Anton. You get access to their Discord support, chat room where there's thousands of people inside, right? Pretty cool. That's the base level, okay? It's not cheap. It's not super expensive. Somewhere in the middle, about $2,000 for the base program. The next level program is $3,997, about $4,000, right? What do you get with that? Everything in premium, plus you get a done-for-you store built for you. So if you're bad with techie stuff and you just want Anton's team to build you a Shopify store with all your products in there, then it's an extra $2,000 basically, okay? Then the next level is what they call Ultimate, okay? That's $8,497. So basically $8,500. It's everything in premium. You get the done-for-you store, you get done-for-you web design, you get done-for-you marketing content for 6 months, and you get private one-on-one mentorship. Pretty good. Okay, not everybody can afford that. It's pretty expensive, $8,500, but you're getting a lot of extra stuff, okay? Refund policy, there's a 30-day refund, but it's an action-based refund, okay? I like action-based refunds, to be honest. I'm a product creator myself, and the worst thing is when people buy your products, but they don't go through it, and then they expect a refund, right? So for him, he has an action-based refund. I think it's fair. It requires you to go through the whole training. It requires you to contact 20 suppliers, and it requires you to build your website. That means you must have a finished Shopify website, and within 30 days, if you still think that it's not for you, then you can ask for a refund. Okay, I think it's completely fair, to be honest, because why buy a product if you're not going to take action? If you're going to be lazy and you're just shopping around but you're not serious about your dreams and your future, don't buy the product. You know what I mean, right? So it's not that he's not offering a refund. He is, but he's saying that you need to go through the course and you need to do certain things, otherwise you don't deserve the refund. Okay, so that's kind of how it's structured. So overall, let me wrap this up, right? What do I think of dropship lifestyle? First of all, I don't like the dropshipping business model, but having said that, what Anton has here, I like. I think it's pretty cool, okay? The fact that he's got a different spin on dropshipping, the fact that he's selling high-ticket premium products and he's teaching you how to do that, so you don't have to deal with all the little tinkering of small, crappy little products and have to sell hundreds of units every single day. That's hard to do, right? I think that his take on dropshipping is workable because the profit margins are slightly higher, 20 to 25%. You don't have to sell hundreds of products a day. You only have to sell maybe a couple a day in order to hit big income. I think that's cool, right? I think that the training is very good, step by step. Anton is, a very successful coach, trainer, and drop shipper, which is very, very important, right? I think he's got different levels inside of his program. It's not cheap, guys, so not everybody can afford it. But if you can afford it and you have the budget for it, this is a very viable business model to get good results if you want to build a dropshipping business, okay? Now, the other thing that I want to mention about dropshipping is that it's not a cheap business to run. Okay, dropshipping is one of the more expensive businesses. You have to understand how this works, okay? So let's just say you decide to get into premium. That's the base level, right? $1,997. On top of that, there are a lot of additional costs to running dropshipping. You have to pay for Shopify, okay? You have to pay for your domains. And then the most expensive thing you have to pay for is you have to pay for advertising, all right? Now, to advertise, I would say, based on my experience, you need to spend about $50 to $100 a day for it to really work, okay? Now, some people will tell you that you can start with less, but the reality is that the way that a lot of these advertising platforms work nowadays is you have to spend more in order to get them to run your campaigns, okay? So if you don't have, I would say at least $50 to $100 a day, which is roughly about $2,000 a month to spend on advertising, don't even bother starting, because it's difficult for you to get the ad platforms to give you impressions, okay? So the other thing is that it's not necessarily, it might take you a while before you get into profit, okay? So don't expect to profit in month number 1. These kind of businesses, online businesses in general, will take you about 3 to 6 months to actually figure out what you're doing correctly before you generate profit. You might generate some revenue, but to get into profit, it might take you a bit of time, okay? So minimum 3 months. That means that you need $2,000 for 3 months. That's $6,000, okay? Plus the cost of the program, that's $8,000 at the premium level, and then a little bit of ancillary stuff like Shopify, your domains, blah 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 blah. So it's between $8,000 and $10,000 if you want to start a dropshipping business successfully. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, if you want to take the risk, you could get into premium for $2,000 and maybe have a $2,000 ad budget, so that's $4,000, and then take a gamble. All right, but I wouldn't do that, because this is real business. You got to be realistic. Set yourself a real budget. So I would say, to be safe, $8,000 to $10,000 to start dropshipping is a nice budget to start. It's a safe number to start. If you're like a cowboy and you want to take the risk, maybe $4,000, $5,000 you can start. But anything below that, I think it's almost impossible to start it successfully. Okay, that's based on my experience. That's how much I had to spend on my dropshipping business, and I shut it down anyway because it's not what I wanted to do. But I think with Anton's strategy, it's much more realistic if you want to really start a dropshipping business. Okay, so that's my review of Dropship Lifestyle. It's pretty cool. If you want to do a physical dropshipping style business, you just need the budget for it, that's all. But I think his training is great. Okay, so you can check it out. Dropshiplifestyle.com. Now, if you're here right now watching this video, maybe you're looking for a way to make money online, but you don't know how, right? You're maybe in research mode. You came across Anton stuff. You've heard of dropshipping. Dropshipping is been a while for a very long time. I think old school dropshipping doesn't work anymore because the profit margins are too tight. Ad platforms are too expensive. But with Anton's strategy, it could work because it's a high ticket, right? But there are a lot of ways to make money online, right? Lots of different business models. So if you would like to find out my way of getting to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, this is my favorite way. I still think that this is the highest profit way, lowest cost, more straightforward than dropshipping, I think, right? And me and my students have had some incredible results. If you want to check that strategy out, click the link below, and I'll send you that strategy straight to your email for free. You can check it out if you want. All right. I hope you enjoyed this review of Dropship Lifestyle. Hope to see you in another product review. Take care.